Yes, this is my first horror film, and I do like the genre of horror. Um, I mean, I've always liked horror films in general, and I've always found them intriguing. I'm a psychology major, so I guess just the idea of fear and what it instills in people and why fear is so intriguing and why I guess horror movies sell so well is really interesting to me.
Yes, this is my first horror film. I do like horror. I like sort of getting caught up and getting myself scared in the course of watching movies. So I'm excited to be a part of that for other people.
I was offered the role, first of all, so that's kind of hard to pass up sometimes. Um, I really had fun with the audition too. I mean, I love improv, and I think that I just had fun with the audition. I was enthused when they offered me the role of Paula Moore in the Wagner Exhibit.
Well, I think the story is a little bit more significant. The plot's a little more significant than some other horror movies. It's not the plot isn't just a vehicle to spray blood at the screen. You know, there is a little bit more development, and all of the crew involved seem really excited and passionate about what it is they're working on.
Um, I think suspense is always kind of the scariest thing about anything because it produces an element of of fear and not knowing what's happening. And I think that the moments when Paula is going and to different rooms and you don't really know what's going to happen, and then I think at the end, she flips over and she there's something happening where some guy comes in, and I think at that moment is really where the suspense kicks in. So yeah.
I think it's a really relatable premise because I think everyone has an experience where they've been somewhere where they know they shouldn't be, and potentially start to get yourself scared and start to think about what's the worst case scenario here. And I think this is interesting because for the heroine, this sort of goes to the worst case scenario for her.
Paula Moore is a young girl who goes into a museum looking to steal one of the items. They're butterflies, and what happens to her at the end is not something that she expects at all. So it's kind of, to me, it's kind of like an element of karma, and yeah, I think an intense element of karma, but.
We don't really know a lot about my character or his motives. We do know he knows a little bit more about what's going on in general than some of the other people, but he's not really sharing that information with everyone else right now. We know he's very dedicated to what he's doing. He's very single-mindedly focused on what it is he's doing, and that's a little bit gruesome.
I'd compare I compare it to there's this movie I watched called the called it was something around the a line of waxworks or something. It's about actually a museum of people who are killed in the museum, and they're basically frozen there forever, and they're never able to escape. So it's like kind of reminds me of the same thing about like getting trapped and killed, and that whole scary thing.
Well, it has elements of sort of the teen slasher, the Friday the 13th sort of genre, but also sort of taking place in one location, sort of the trapped feeling that I got in looking at it. Sort of reminded me of Evil Dead or one of those movies where they, even if they decide they do want to get out of here, maybe that's not really a possibility anymore.